What is up, everybody? Circleflex here, taking a look at day 21. Now, this is actually the second time I'm clicking on this. So I came a little bit more prepared than in the usual videos. Just a little bit. Anyway, day 21 is the IS3A. And this is actually kind of funny, because I thought this was going to come out like the end of, well, the 24th. But I can see why they released it now, because a lot of people from like that are studying, like students and stuff, have 2 weeks off now. Like I think this is the first day of their holiday, kind of thing. So yeah, so they're probably are selling it now, so you can enjoy the IS3A longer before you have to go back to school, basically. So it comes with 2k gold, a carrot slot, and obviously the tank for 50 euros. Now that is 50 euros. It's a lot of money. Let's be real here. That is just a lot of money. So the gold is, I think, like 10 euros or something. Yeah, so let's say 10, well, let's say 8 to 10 euros. So the tank itself is 42 euros, well, with the gold. Let's just say 10 euros with the gear slot and the gold, right? So you're paying 40 bucks for an IS3A. That's actually a better offer than I thought we were going to get. However, I mean, it's still 50 euros. 50 euros is a lot of money. So is it worth getting one? In my opinion, this is the best non-limited matchmaking at tier 8. Well, at least for heavy tanks. Let me just show you guys. Let's just go to tanks.gg. And I'll let you guys in on a little bit of info here. Say if we can just compare this. Hopefully it works. So we got the tier 8. And we got heavies. And we go with the IS3 Auto. And then we take the lever. Oh, but you know what? We should do the IS3 next to it. IS3, and then we do the lever. And we do the T44. What the hell is this? This looks awesome. I want this now. Anyway, what the hell? This thing looks awesome. Haven't ever seen that in the game. Anyway, so if we take a look here, basically the IS3 Auto compared to an IS3, the difference is that it has an auto-loading gun, but it's not an auto-loading gun as you know in Riddle tanks. When you have like a clip, you shoot the clip, you reload for a long time. In this tank, it just means that it basically reloads faster. So what you're left with is basically an IS3 with less maneuverability. So the tank defers and everything, or no, that's the gun. So the movement, so it goes a little bit faster. It goes the fastest out of all of these. But the power to weight is obviously way worse. It's only 520, so it won't reset speed anytime soon. The power to weight is like way worse than a normal IS3. And the turret defense is also worse. And the tank defense is also worse. However, it does have the same exact hull as an IS3. And turret armor wise, it's the same. It's a different shape, but it is the same kind of armor. So really, you're just buying a faster shooting IS3 with a little bit less movement. And the gun handling is poorer. I can't deny this. Like the accuracy is poorer, 0.44, 0.38. That is a pretty huge difference. Like 0.44 is pretty big. That's like we're going to KV2 levels of like derpy this kind of thing. However, the gun doesn't really seem to care because you're mostly brawling an IS3 and IS3 and the IS3A. So what that means is that you're fighting close to medium distances, and the base pen on the IS3 Auto is even higher than or slightly lower than slightly higher than the IS3 normally. So the 221 for 390, and then the heat is 270. Obviously the heat is a bit of a disadvantage. You rather have like APCR as a premium ammo. But having APCR as a standard ammo is also really nice because the shell velocity is insane. As you can see here, 1400 compared to around 1000 that these people are on. The T44 is even slower. So comparing this IS3 Auto to the Leuven and the T44, let's just take away the IS3, is pretty insane. Like the DPM is crazy good. Um, the penetration is less than all the other ones, but like I said, for actually being a heavy tank, the Leuven and the T-44 are actually not even that good for a heavy tank. Because they're gonna take up a heavy tank slot, and what do heavy tanks need to do, especially if they get good matchmaking? They need to like do the heavy tanking, they need to do the heavy lifting, they need to go into the cities, win the big fights, brawl, side scrape, all of that shit. The T-44 nor the Leuven are actually good at that. The Leuven is more for sniping, but it's like, it just kind of fails. Like, it has a good gun, but like, oh, it's huge, it's sluggish, it's just not a lot of fun. And the T-44 only really shines if it can go hold down, and if it doesn't get, and if it gets to reload. Like the T-44 has a good gun, but a pretty long reload. So if it's allowed to reload and put shot after shot into it, yes, it can hold the flank hold down. But more often than not, you will shoot once and get shot back like 4 times, and people will go around you, stuff like that. Whereas an IS-3 auto can hold its own, dude. Like with this reload, it's gonna go below 10 seconds. Firing away with 390 alpha, like that's so punishing. Like the Leuven is only 320, and then the T-44 is 400. But 390, like every like 9 or so seconds, is gonna be insane because people are gonna have really good crews to put in this because it's a premium, of course, also for the other tanks. But it's gonna have like below 10-second reload. Now the ammo is actually really low, 28. I can see myself using all of these shells in some carry games. Now, like I said, granted the accuracy and everything is not that great, but in all honesty, in the way you fight with an IS-3, you're mostly not even gonna notice it too much. And having the hull of the normal IS-3 is just gonna be insane, because we all know how annoying those are to shoot at, right? So, what are the negatives of the IS-3 auto outside of the gun, and that it is a bit slower than a normal IS-3? Which still means that it's one of the best tanks at tier 8. Alright, IS-3 is tier for tier the easiest tank to play, and probably one of the most powerful ones. So getting one of those, but it makes it money, and it shoots faster, whilst only being slightly slower, is a bit insane. And like I said, compared to what we already have, the Leuven T-44, those are really old tanks already. But they're just left in the dust, in my opinion. It's actually pretty crazy. So I actually bought one because, well, I'm a streamer. I stream this game. I do YouTube for this stuff. So I'm gonna show you in the garage real quick why I think this is a pretty awkward tank. So let me just switch to World Tanks here. The reason why the IS-3A is actually really awkward is because it has the auto loader, and I said it before, you don't get a clip or anything, you just reload faster. It has a really dumb crew layout. So the driver is just the driver, as you can see. So that's not going to be an issue. That's good for crew training. The gunner is the gunner and the loader. Yes. Then the commander is the commander, the radio operator, and the loader. Now why is this awkward? Because this setup is nowhere to be found in any of the other tanks. An IS-3 or an IS-7 will have 2 loaders, driver, gunner, commander. There's nobody sharing the roles here, except for the loader that's also the radio guy. So, why is this awkward? Well, if you put the IS-7 crew, you put those away, and you put them in the IS-3A. So you're gonna put your commander here. See, I have a really good crew for this. There, and then I'm gonna put the IS-7 crew here. And the IS-7 driver. Now, why is it awkward? Because, where are you gonna put safe stowage? Yeah, that's right. You basically can't. The only way you're gonna do that is if you actively train from this tank and a gunner with the safe storage perk. Like, what the fuck? Like, this is so weird. Like, as you can see, the safe storage perks, you know, it's always on the loader. So because it's such a really weird crew layout, you're gonna have to train your gunner as a loader as well. And let me remind you that the IS-3 gets ammo wrecked quite often, actually. if you know, once it faces tanks that can actually pet it frontally, it will get Emmerich really quickly. As far as I remember, when I grinded through the IS3 and stuff like that. So that's going to be really interesting because you kind of basically need safe stowage. Um, so that's extremely awkward. Also, it only trains 3 crew members. The i7 has 5, and the 260 has 4, which is also still one more. The IS4 has 4. The T10 has 4. The SD1 has 5 with 2 loaders. And then obviously the IS3 has 4 as well. So it's really awkward for training things. So for actual benefit of your account, like if you're really just looking at it from like a, maximizing your purchases, if you don't have an i6 yet, the i6 gets the layout of all the high tier Russian tanks. Granted, it doesn't have the extra loader. So it's perfect, for example, for the 260. Now I know there's like less than 1,000 or so of these things on the EU server at the moment, so it doesn't really matter. But the i7 you will still train everything that's important. Like once a loader has safe stowage, repairs, and then maybe camo, it's practically useless. And basically, you don't even really need the camo, so you need 2 crew skills. So if by 10 you don't have an extra loader with 2 crew skills, so that doesn't really matter. But like, not being able to train any of your loaders because of this is a bit awkward. Like, say you don't have an i6 or something, like training your loaders is going to be super awkward. Now, I will say that the IS3A is a really good tank, and yes, it will make money like any tier A premium will. But keep in mind how awkward the crew is, and I might even say that buying an IS6 with a discount during Christmas might still be better than buying an IS3A. For the simple fact of crew layout and limited matchmaking. However, IS3A, I can't deny it, it is a really good tank. Like I said, it's basically an IS3 that shoots faster. Same armor layout, especially in the hull. The turret is slightly different, but pretty much the same armor. Pretty much, like, just makes it insane. I'm gonna be playing this on the live server tonight. So if you want to check me out playing it with my own account, with my own crew, then you should probably tune in tonight. I'm going to be playing this and the Czech tier 9. But yeah, so is it worth the purchase? Yeah, it is kind of worth the purchase for sure. I can't deny that it is one of the better premiums you can get at tier 8. The only thing that's weird with it is basically the crew. And it has no limited matchmaking. Obviously, if this thing has limited matchmaking, oh my god. But I do feel that the Löwe and the T44 are kind of left in the dust after taking a look at this one. And they're probably not going to buff those two, but I just feel like saying that. Like, I feel like that Löwe and T44 are just left in the dust compared to this thing. Because this can actually do the heavy tank role so much better. So, yeah. Excellent tank. Probably worth getting. I'm just going to switch back to Oprah here. There we go. So, just to reiterate here, if you put it next to an IS3, is that the gun, it's all better. The IS3 actually has a little bit more pen, but 221, 225, you're not going to notice. The DPM is crazy much higher. And the shell velocity is really nice in the stock shells being APCR. The weapon handling is pretty awful, even compared to the IS3. But like I said, in reality, you're not really going to notice too much of this unless you do a lot of sniping. But with 28 shells and a lot of sniping, it's probably not the best idea. It goes a bit faster in the forward speed, but it doesn't really matter because the power to weight is way worse. And it also traverses worse with the turret and the chassis. Other than that, the hull armor and everything is the exact same as an IS3, so it's pretty insane. So yeah, it's worth a purchase. However, it's still 50 euros, which is a lot of money. And you might want to think about getting an i6 if you don't have an i6 already. If you already have an i6, is it still worth buying this? Depends on how much you like playing i3s and how much you like being tier 8. Because depending on the time that you play in, if you play a lot at night or in the evenings, you will get a lot of crappy matchmaking. So keep all of that in mind before purchasing it. And like I said, I will be playing it a bunch on the live stream. So yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at what Asia got. Oh, I got the AK-88 with the 1,000 gold. Whoop-de-doo. Whoop-de-doo. That's a bit weird. Like, why? I feel like for the ICA, right? I feel like they should have set a global date of releasing the tank. Because I kind of feel like we got fucked a bit because NA got it like a week earlier. Or something like that. And now Asia still doesn't have it. I feel kind of bad. I talked about this tank a lot in the previous 2 videos. In short, I don't think it's worth it. I think the traverse speed kills this tank. It's really sluggish. And you will have a lot of games where you simply can't contribute due to your speed. And you'll have games where you just die because you are on the correct flank, but there's nobody supporting you. It can hold down, one hold down, it can hold some of the flanks, like I'll say the Himmelsdorf on the Banana Street thing. But yeah, all in all, I don't think it's worth it. You get 1,000 gold for no reason. If you're gonna get it, I mean, you can't even buy it anymore normally. That's also really weird. No, I don't think it's worth it. Simply enough, like some people seem to really like it, but I can't get over the speed, and I can't get over the traverse speed. The traverse speed really kills it for me. If they would buff the traverse speed, I would recommend this tank a bit more. It does get limited matchmaking and a good gun, then it doesn't cost a lot to shoot. So, like any trade, it will make money, but nothing really special. So yeah, not really worth getting in my opinion. I think there's better things to get. With the Christmas discounts than buying the AK-88. I think a lot of people will get bored with it really quickly. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Festive day 21 or Advent calendar day 21. Like I already stated, I'm going to play ICA and the new checkline on my stream today on Monday. Twitch.tv/Circon. I hope to catch you guys there. Or otherwise, I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Thanks a lot for watching, boys. I'll see you later.